Hi, I'm Una. You're very welcome to my channel. This video is all about my first attempt at using the Gina K Wreath Builder. It's a wonderful tool with endless possibilities and I'm looking forward to making more videos with it. This is how I got on the first time. There are two templates in the packet and I'm using the 4-inch one, which I taped down into my Misty, and I cut a 4-inch panel from Neenah Classic Crest Solar White, and I'm using a floral image from this stamp set. You can do 8 turns in the template. Well, I suppose you can do 2, 4 and 8. I wanted my wreath to look quite full, so I did all 8 turns. Now I started with the floral image in the bottom left hand corner, but what I should have done was check where the image would be on the panel with the second turn, and it was slightly off. Now I kept going, and in the end, I thought it looked just fine. It was my intention to superimpose flowers on top of those images, so it didn't matter that it was slightly off, but you would need to check that. I use a lot of tips and tricks when I'm making this video that I know I picked up in the past from Gina K and from Jennifer Maguire. Jennifer in particular, because she made a lot of videos using the Wreath Builder. Now, I should have probably gone and watched one of her videos before my own experiment, because she does advise not to use leaf images together. And I took out my leaf images from Lilac, Welcome Home set from Lilac, and I put down 2 of them together. And when I went to stamp on the second turn, I realised they were superimposed on each other, and that wasn't what I intended. But I kept on going because I love to find a fix, and I decided in the end to do something to cover up that mistake, and I hope you think I did it successfully. I was pleased in the end. The dots there, I'm sorry, my camera wasn't turned on while I was doing those. I got those out of the Lilac set as well. And now I decided to do these leaf clusters in the 4 corners. And then I looked at it and I wasn't happy that that was looking right. The visual closure wasn't correct because it looked as if there was something missing on the 4 sides. So I decided to go back and put in the tiny little bit that was going to show of those 2 clusters that I had put in the corners. And you'll see here in a moment just how I was able to align the stamp properly to make sure I'd get it in the proper place. Do you see? I'm putting it on top of one that was a successful one in the corner. Picked it up with my lid, and now it's going to be in exactly the right spot when I'm doing the tiny little bit on the sides. And I know this is really tiny, but like I say, from the point of view of it looking right, that was absolutely necessary. And I was really pleased in the end because I loved the way this filled up. I used another tip that I know I definitely got from Jennifer Maguire in selecting small images from that same Lilac set to fill in the white gaps. And I used Misty Morning from Altenew and filled in the larger gaps with, it is a centre of a flower stamp. And the corners were looking blank, so I filled those in as well. And I took this tiny little dot. I put it on an acrylic block and then filled in any gaps with the tiny dot. I know I definitely got that tip from Jennifer Maguire, and it really is effective. I'm beginning to really like the way it's shaping up. So I take a Spectrum Noir marker with a contrasting green and fill in some shading on the leaf that's protruding into the centre of the piece. And this is how I decided to fix the leaf that was overlapping. I stamped the leaf with Versamark ink onto some green cardstock and then covered it with clear embossing powder and heated it up till it was smooth and melted. And then I cut it out and tried it on the card to see how it would look. And I was quite pleased with that, so I went ahead and created 7 more and cut them out, and now they were ready. for assembling the card later. I chose a Spectrum Noir marker to create some flowers. So I stamped them again with the Lulu Lavender and covered them with the Spectrum Noir marker. I liked the look of them and the dimension they gave to the card. So I used a T-ruler then to find the centre of the card, and using a scalloped circle die, I cut out the piece from the centre, and that's the lilac card I used to make this Miss You sentiment. And the lilac card I used again with glitter paper, white glitter paper, to make the centres of the flowers. Then I scored myself a line so that I'd be able to cut out a square with my guillotine. And I did it in a way that would leave me a small border around the outside edge of my stamped panel, and then the burgundy card was showing through the centre. A lovely contrast, I thought, to the lavender flowers. This card is going to be a Miss You card for my parents-in-law. I really missed not being able to go to see them this week. And I hope this card cheers them up. I don't know when I'll be able to go see them again. There are a lot of us in that boat at the moment. So I adhered the leaves and the flowers. And I think it's really beginning to look pretty at this stage. And then the centres of the flowers. Using my glue bottle, the Gina K bottle, with my own glue in it, Hi-Tack Fast Tack glue. And the sentiment then. And for a last embellishment, I decided to pull out my circle of Anita's Gemstones, my circular container, and using some light coloured lavender gemstones. I thought they were a very pretty finishing touch for the card. That's the X-cut punch that I used to make those centres. Using a Papermania square base, 300 GSM, 13.5 centimetre. They come in a pack of 50. Pop on some blocks to help adhere the gemstones. Very last touch is some sparkle from a Spectrum Noir sparkle pen, and I think you can see here how nice it looks. So that was the card. I really enjoyed using that wreath builder, and I'm going to really look forward to making some more cards with it later on this week. Please do come back to Una's Crafty Cards. I would love if you would subscribe to my channel. Would you give this video a like? That's really important for the success of my channel, and there are some more videos here you might like to watch. I'll see you again soon. Bye. All the best. Do take care of yourself.